Hello, dear lovelies. Hope you all are doing well. Let's start today's lecture. In last lecture, I taught you about the ways to build a positive body language. And in that topic, we discussed about lot of things that we should improve upon to make our communication good. All right. Now, when we communicate with other people, it is not only our skills that affects the communication. That also depends on some external factors, on some other factors, which actually affects the communication. How your message is conveyed to someone else. It depends on so many other factors. And those factors, if not considered in the mind or if not taken care of, may become the barriers in communication. So in today's lecture, we'll talk about the barriers in communication, all those factors that affects the communication. Let's start now. The first is physical barrier. Physical barrier is the matter around us. Matter around means uh, it may be a noise, okay, uh, or other environmental factors that may block the communication. For example, if you are communicating with somebody else and then there is a lot of noise around, or the place where you have chosen to communicate is not convenient to talk. So the thing is that these physical barriers, affects the communication a lot. So it is very much important to choose the place where the communication can be, when the message can be conveyed properly. Okay, so you can understand the example. If we teach a class, if we teach a subject, or if we discuss a very important topic, you know in the mid of a market, will it be possible? No, obviously not. So we should take care of the physical barriers that may affect our communication, and we should opt for the place or a situation where we have minimum physical barriers. Second, personal barriers, like our personal qualities also affect the communication. Our attitude, pressure of time, inability to communicate, concept about a topic, inferiority complex, or our biases. So these qualities of ours may also affect the communication. It's not only that, like suppose I may know good I may know to how to communicate in English, or I may have a good command in a particular language, but I have other issues to deal with that may affect the communication. So these are called personal barriers. Third is called semantic or language barriers. You know that a language is the common medium to communicate. Other medium were like non-verbal communication, like or visual communication, but a language is one of the most important mode of communication by which we can convey our message, maybe in a written form or in the form of words. So these semantics of a language or language may become a barrier, because if you speak English and somebody else does not understand English, then you may not communicate properly. So, and sometime your words are interpreted in a different manner, that also may become a barrier. So language is one of the most important factor. You can understand that that affects the communication. So a sender has to take care in a mind that he or she should communicate in the language on which the receiver understands, or they may find an interpreter. In that case, if they cannot understand each other's languages, or they do not know each other's languages. And second thing, the sender should also consider in the mind that how his or her message will be interpreted. So this has also taken care of. Fourth, this is important point that called status barriers. Status barriers basically these barriers arise between two persons of different status. For example, if someone is of a of high rank in an organization, and someone is of low rank in our organization, so the person of a high rank organization might not feel the same the other person as important as of his friends of same rank. So he may not communicate well with the person with the lower rank, or lower rank may not feel comfortable to communicate with the sorry with the person of second person, second with the person of high rank. So these gaps of status may become the barriers in communication, because some may feel superiority complex, or maybe someone feel inferiority complex. So these things may also may also hamper the communication. Next, barriers due to inadequate attention. Now this is another important factors. Now when we do not listen something very carefully, or when we do not read with a focused mind, so it is obvious that our message is not understood or maybe misunderstood. So communication is not a one-way process, it's a two-way process. It depends on the sender who is sending a message, but also it also depends on the receiver who is receiving the message. How nicely you send a message, it is your ability, and how the receiver understand it also depends on his listening skills. So sometime if the receiver does not pay attention to the message, so the message will be misunderstood. Like it usually sometimes happen in the classroom, like if a child is not paying attention, so he will not understand the topic. Therefore this inadequate attention also uh, plays a vital role in communication. Okay. Next, called premature evaluation. Sometime if we talk to someone else, so you must have heard that they come to judgment before listening carefully. They do not listen you carefully, and before they listen to you, they come to a conclusion that yeah, this will be that. So this is called a premature evaluation. So without understanding, or without listening, or without considering your points, if somebody comes into the into at some point, then this is called premature evaluation. In last point, as where we discussed that you have to listen carefully to understand it. So half listening is like racing your engine with the gears in neutral, and you use gasoline but you get nowhere. If you know the the technology of a vehicle, so there are accelerator, brakes, and clutch, and gears in case of like bikes or cars. So if you put a gear on a neutral and your engine is fired, and if you press accelerator, if you accelerate the car will not reach anywhere, and the car will consume the fuel. So the thing is that if you come to any premature evaluation, so the communication will not reach to any point, because you are not the someone to whom you are communicating may not listen you carefully, and he or she is coming to a conclusion without understanding your views or ideas. So premature evaluations become the barrier. So for a better communication, we should be a good listener first. If you listen someone very carefully, observe their body language, then we'll understand the message carefully, and then the communication will go in a better direction. Next point comes called emotional attitude. Barriers may also arise due to emotional attitude, because when emotions are strong, it is difficult to know the frame of mind of the other person or a group. For example, if you are very much angry, so we are not able to communicate properly when we are angry, or when we are overwhelmed about anything. So if our mind is composed, calm, and in peace, then will only be able to communicate properly. So emotional attitudes play again important role. So when we have to communicate with somebody else, so we should also know the our emotional status. We should know, are we angry? But if we are angry and we go for talking to somebody else, obviously you may lose the control over your words. All right, so emotional attitude also become the communication. It may obstruct the transmission of the message. For example, if you want to talk about something to your friend, and it makes you angry before thinking about it, then the communication will not go well. Resistance to change. Sometimes it is possible that a person is not open enough to change. So this situation may bring the barrier in communication. So if you talk to a person and who is not going to open up about the topic or about the matter, then how you are going to communicate? If somebody has closed mind, then you cannot communicate well, because he or she has a rigid a framework of a thing. So he or she may not communicate properly, or obviously the communication will not go well, because somebody is very much too strict or orthodox about his or her feeling, and very rigid about his or her feelings or ideas, then there will be no possibility of the communication. So resistance to change again becomes a barrier. Barriers due to lack of mutual trust. So when we communicate with somebody else, if there is a trust issue, then obviously the communication will not go well, because you may feel like you the one whom you are talking may is not trustworthy. Then how it will go? Or you cannot communicate with the person with full confidence, or with full zeal, and with full enthusiasm, then the communication will not go well. So barriers due to lack of mutual trust can be can mutual trust lack of mutual trust can become a barrier, because if you do not trust someone, or if you are not enthusiastic enough to convey your message, then that will you cannot communicate well. So we cannot communicate with the same extent to everyone else. Like you have selective friends. Suppose you have 5 friends. Out of 5 friends, you may have 1 or 2 friends to whom you can communicate anything or everything. You cannot communicate same thing to all the classmates. You cannot tell your secrets to everybody else. Why? Because there are trust issues. So thing is that when there are trust issues, then you cannot communicate with the person with full enthusiasm and with full confidence. So these trust issues may also become the barrier in communication. So this was the topic of the day, that the barriers of communication. And I should remind you that these are the not only your course contents. Please understand this. Obviously, the question will come in your exam from in the board, and you will answer them. what we are learning right now here are life skills. So this is not something that you know read a night before the exam and next day you come to the exam and write the answer of it. Obviously you can write the answer, but these are the things that we are learning to improve our life skills. So you can consider them as your life skills, not just a course. Earlier, as fast as we we adopt these things in our life, then we will become a better human being and also a better communicator. So in few chapters, the first one and the another coming chapters, we'll learn some life skills which you have to understand them carefully, and we which you have to adopt the techniques that are given to you, so that we can become a better student or a citizen or a person, or we can our life skills are improved. All right, so hope you understand till now. uh, one or two topics are left in this chapter, and we'll move to next chapter. So till now you can copy these topics, which will be sent to you in a form of PPT, and later on you will be asked to show your notes. All right, so take care. See you in next lecture.